Hello, everyone. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Nataliia. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for your invitation.
Absolutely. Why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners for those who don't know who you are?
Hi again to everyone. I'm so happy to be here today and to be a guest. I'm Nataliia. I came from Ukraine to Vancouver 2 years ago. And I guess it was October 2022. And as a researcher, as a visiting scholar at UBC. So I attend a program, Scholar at Risk, for Ukrainian scholars who've been affected by the war, Russia's war against Ukraine. And so I'm also a researcher. I do research about the Holocaust in Ukraine. And I'm a teacher. I don't really like the word teacher. I wouldn't say that I'm a teacher or instructor. I just I do my work. I like to be with the students.
Could you say professor?
Oh, no.
No?
No, I'm not a professor. No, I have a PhD. Yeah, I got a PhD 12 years ago.
So what's the difference between like a scholar and a professor and an instructor university? Like, where do you draw these lines?
Like for me?
Yes.
Okay, so professor is like a social, like kind of professional status, and it's very, very something very, very, very higher for me. And I wouldn't say I'm a professor. At least I don't have these feelings I'm a professor. I don't have, for now, I don't have these reasons to say that, yeah, I'm a professor. Doctor, yes, I am a doctor because I have a PhD. I got it, my PhD. So I did it, and I know that I did. It was like, this is my work. And in Ukraine also I am associate professor. It means associate professor at the Department of Political Science.
So you are a professor?
No, I'm not. Associate professor, but not professor. I like this term, like visiting scholar. That's for me that's enough.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, to be a scholar and to do research.
Research.
Yeah.
And what do you like to research?
So as I mentioned, I work with a Holocaust topic in Ukraine, and the focus or the focus of my project, or the aim of my project is children's experience.
Children's experience.
Yeah, children's experience. Like now, I work with the Jewish children's experience, and during the Holocaust in Ukraine. So their experience and oral history testimonies. So I analyze oral history testimonies.
So what they experienced as children during the Holocaust,
yeah,
and then as adults, you're interviewing them now to get
some of them.
So some of them, right?
Yeah. So I started to do that with oral history testimonies of the Visual Archive, Shoah Foundation. So they have like a huge visual archive. They recorded testimonies of survivors since they started to do that since I guess 1990s, something like that. And these testimonies the main base of my research. And here in Vancouver, so when I arrived to Vancouver, I had wonderful opportunity and chance to to meet people, survivors who came from former Soviet Union to Vancouver through the different countries. So yeah, and they are Russian-speaking survivors.
Mm.
So that's one of the I think that's important thing. And yeah, so that's wonderful that I can I have this chance to talk to them. And also I work with memory, so like public sphere, like academia. It's like one part of my life, and university, and another part that's a public sphere. I mean that I'm also one of the co-founders of non-profit organization in Ukraine, in Rivne.
In Rivne?
Yes, in Rivne. This is my hometown. Rivne is called. It's the city located. It's a part of northwest of Ukraine.
Can you bring up a map of Rivne and where that is on Ukraine?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so it happened in 2016. Yeah, so we're like three of us, me and my two of my colleagues, like my mentor, my supervisor, and another colleague. So Maxim Haon, Petro Dolhanov, and me, we just decided to create some organization, non-profit organization, and started to work to implement different projects about the memory of Second World War and Holocaust as well. So yeah, and if we are still doing this, I think, at least in my opinion, I hope that it's a good job. It's a good yeah.
What do you mean a good job?
Not job means I mean that the aim. So the main purpose of our why we did it, why we created, why we established this NGO, it was because we wanted to bring something to our community, and at least try to change something, about the to bring a new knowledge, a new information, a new explanation, understanding of the past, historical past,
yes.
and history. So public history, public sphere. That's another part or of my life. And so for these years, our NGO implemented, I don't know, more than 10 projects. I guess around 10 projects. And and the results of our of this project. So that's I don't know, digital map.
Okay.
And or a short movies for youth, or give me a second. Okay, so the virtual museum of one street. It's with AR history or AR experience. Yeah, just something that can help to learn and to get more history and about the Second World War, but the past, about the period before Second World War. So that's.
And so when in your research, as you're interviewing folks, what have you uncovered or learned or shared in your NGO? Like what have you encountered that like surprised you, or like that wasn't really well known before, if that makes sense?
You mean that like our NGO interviews?
Yes, yes, or like in
Oh.
your research in
Uh-huh.
general,
Yeah.
like what have you uncovered?
Yeah, so I just I remember one project. It was one like probably my first like a big scholarship. What I got it. It was a scholarship in the U.S., so United States Holocaust Memorial Museum,
Mhm.
and it was a project about the Jewish experience in our like in the ghetto. So I found information and documents about Rivne and women experience. And when I came back to Rivne, I shared this, what I found with my friends, and we decided to write a project about that.
Okay.
And we made a movie about Jewish experience in Rivne ghetto.
And what did you find in the documents or in that experience?
So that's look. I worked with oral history testimonies,
Mhm.
and I also what is interesting for me as well. I found that one oral history testimonies. One woman who survived during the Holocaust in Rivne with her mother,
Okay.
and so she was at that time probably around like 20 years old. And she testified about her experience. But her mother wrote a memoirs, and that memoirs was published at the early, I guess, in 1990s in Russian. So I had a chance to compare, like to
Compare what?
compare like two testimonies, like mother and daughter. And at the same time, we found a person who we could identify and recognize a guy who a rescuer who was a rescuer and who saved their lives. And he's a writer among the nation. And unfortunately, he was killed in Kiev. I guess he was like at that time 33 years old, young guy, young man. And so what we have now as a result of this whole story,
Mm-hmm.
we have movie, and we have one like we call it like a Stolpenstein or stumbling blocks or stumbling stone. This is a art project
Mm-hmm.
of Günther Demning. He's an art who actually an author of this project, remembering project. So this is kind of like a project about how we can remember about the victims of the Holocaust. And in Rivne, we installed 5 stones, and one stone it's had been dedicated to this person. His name Yakov Sukhenko, rescuer. Yakov Sukhenko.
Yes.
Yakov.
Yakiv.
Yes.
You.
Sukhenko.
Sukhenko.
Yes.
Sukhenko.
Yes. So he's a writer among the nation. He's a rescuer.
And what did you put on the stone?
So the main idea of this project we put it, and it's like, this is conditions of Ginter, this project. Like name and last name of a person who were perished, who were killed, and place where this person. So in like years, like birth when the person was born and died.
Okay.
And also the one important thing about this project. So the stone all like should be and can be installed only on the place where the person lived or worked, but not on the not on the place where the person was died or killed. So that's an important thing of this project.
And why did you want to do that? Not put it where they died.
Because we have to remember about the life.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could see this. This is not from Rivne, but this is like a project. Art project. You could see, the name.
Do you have can he find pictures in Rivne of the stones that
sure,
you created?
Sure. Yeah. And also it should be like also like the language on this stone. We have to use only like a native language of the country where the stones were installed.
So in Rivne,
it's Ukrainian.
It's Ukrainian.
It's Ukrainian.
Okay.
And you can see, yes, this is Stolpensteiner, or Günther Demning.
Stolpensteiner?
Yeah, Stolpensteiner, yeah. Günther Demning. And he arrived to Rivne. Yeah, you could see. So it means like in English, like version translation, here is Lev Yakov Sukhenko, year of his birth, and when he was arrested in Kiev, and he was arrested in 1943, and he was killed in Kiev in 1943. So you can see like information about the victim. Yeah. Yeah, so we have, in Rivne has 5 stones. Okay. 5 stones. And these stones belong to and present different victims, different ethnic groups. Ukrainians, Polish, and Jews.
So they represent more than one person?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. It was like we discussed about that. We had debated and debate about that, and decided that like in this way we can just show like multicultural or we have like we also use the word like inclusive model of memory. So we just want to share with citizens that not only Ukrainians or not only Polish or Czechs were a victim, or Jewish, other groups also were a victim of totalitarian regime or totalitarian's regime. So that's very important to remember not only one group, but also other groups as well, because everyone, like we have like that's a part of Ukrainian history, and we cannot escape it or avoid it. That's a part that we have to. That's a very important part of our history, and we should talk about that and remember, of course. So that's what we are, what we try to do, and still try to do, and even in during this complicated and hard conditions. Nowadays, I mean.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Do you see any similarities on what's happening now and what happened in the Holocaust?
That's also debates. We have debate between Ukraine between Ukrainian scholars, and of course we people compare. I'll just try to see common and differences.
Sure.
Yeah. Totalitarian regime, for example. So we can say that. Yeah. And about genocide, that's also at the beginning of the war, the people use this word, this term. So
of which
genocide, now in
of which war? I'm sorry.
In Ukraine nowadays.
Ukraine now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a right to say that and call this war as genocide. So it's also about we have to look at the international laws and term, to go to the term to. And also I mentioned, because my students here at UBC,
Yes.
they asked me about, and I discussed with them about can we say that a war in Ukraine now, Russia's war against Ukraine, as a genocide, can we call it? And very famous scholars, they call it this war as a genocide. So, and also we have one thing. It's a one point of this term. It's a children. Children, yes, children who been just take it and from their families, and just put it to another culture, another environment, another
like they were taken from their parents.
Yes. Yes, or stolen. Yes.
And then they don't know where they are.
Yeah. In Ukraine, in Ukraine, from eastern part of Ukraine.
And is that a common occurrence of the children being taken?
No. But it's not. I wouldn't say that it's a common. Some they during the Holocaust, children they were killed.
Mm-hmm.
In Ukraine, it happened. So, in Ukraine, Holocaust calls Holocaust by bullets, means that Jewish people were killed. They were shot. Were shot, and yes, and children as a vulnerable group of victims, they were also shot. And because it was a part of official Nazi system ideology, Jewish people they had to be killed by Nazi. Yeah, so it was they couldn't be just taken from one environment and put it to another environment. It's not a common, but it's one of the point why we can, or just can we say that the war in Ukraine, Russia's war against Ukraine, is a genocide. And so that's
So I think what you're saying is one part of evidence to suggest that it is a genocide is what they're doing to the children, how they're taking them away from the parents.
Yeah, or just stolen. Yeah,
stolen.
Yeah.
What are other examples of genocide that the scholars, how what evidence can they say this is genocide?
We can look at I don't want to go to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can
just to skip what I can like talk about what I just really like,
Sure.
I have like we have official
Yeah.
like recognizing the of this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't want to
Sure.
go to the other things.
I understand.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that it's also very important to talk about that with the students, with the young people, with the young generation. And I am very grateful to my students who interested who really wanted to know more and to learn and understand why that happened, like causes, and historical causes as well. And here in Canada and Vancouver, and also Ukraine as well, in Rivne. Like I remember when, like after the war, I was teaching online, and we were teaching online, and my students ask me all the time. They ask me like they had this question, why? Yeah, and this is an important question. Why? How? It's like, and we are together just try to look at the history and the different historical narratives and periods, and see, try to find this reason, and to find this explanation, this like why it happened.
What's it like being like when you're asked that question, like you're teaching your students, and they're coming with this very vulnerable like why is this happening to us? What's that like?
That's a difficult, to be honest, this is a difficult question. It's a difficult question because, and I found it's a difficult question at the beginning of the war. Because I couldn't, like, I'll try to find these reasons.
Sure.
However, I also, like, I had kind of experiences, like unpleasant experiences. But I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't know what, I didn't have the answer for this question for my students. And I'm still thinking that I shouldn't give them the answer. They have to find this answer for themselves. And I can give them only, at least try to share with them different, like, options, different variants,
of different perspectives.
Yeah, different perspectives, yeah. And they can make this to find this answer. But yeah, so I also like, as I said, like I try to find this answer for this question, and I didn't know what to do. Like, yeah, I'm a researcher, I'm a scholar. I had I got a couple like scholarships, so I've been to Europe and European countries, and in the US and here in Canada. But it's not the same because, like, it's not the same feelings. When you're, like, when you're, like, I explain you. When you're going to do a research for 5 months or for 4 months, you know that you can go back home and you will go back. You would go back home, and everything is fine there. You have your life, you have your job, you have, like,
yeah,
everything. and it's safe. Yeah. So, and when the war began, it's almost 2 years. It will be like next week. Yeah. I was with my students, 4 students, in Romania, and it was an educational program, Erasmus Plus program for young people for 2 weeks. So I was kind of like a so like in Ukrainian word, like in Ukrainian word, I forgot a word. Okay, so I was kind of like a mentor for them.
Okay.
And so for 2 weeks, yeah, and 28th of February, we should be like not probably, but we had a ticket, so we had to return to Rivne, but we couldn't because February 24th, yeah, everything like whole your life just in one moment, crashed. It was crashed. And yeah, and I stayed with my students there for 3 months. And you don't know, when you're just where you're alone, where you like you can do with your life, like you can find like somehow to manage the situation. But with for young people, that's a little bit. It's quite difficult, yeah. And so I seen like you in these conditions, in this situation, you have to accumulate your energy and yourself, and just to be with them. So I was with them all the time, and I tried to support them as much as possible as I could. But it's not a common thing with the Holocaust, or just experience of people who survived during the Holocaust. It's not a common. But I would say my war experience gave me deeper understanding people who just was going through this war, doesn't matter, war, genocide, trauma, who has this trauma. And I know that's probably not really good to say, but this experience, yeah, that's something, just from one hand, it's a bad experience. It's not it's, to be honest, yeah, that's horrible experience. But from other hand, I would say I can take also I could take something good for myself, and for, I don't like to use the word job. It's not a job, and for me to do my research, it's not a job. It's something more. And yeah, so my experience helped me to understand better people, survivors. And if I can bring this and share this with others, with students, with I think that's good.
Wow. It's amazing. Not amazing. It's you took something good out of a very terrible situation. It's
we have to believe in a good things. Yesterday I had a conversation, and one woman, she mentioned like, I believed in a good people. So I think that we have to keep this. We have to believe, you know.
And do you believe in the good?
Yeah, even like if you don't have, even if you don't have this energy, you know, sometimes you just don't have this.
Sure.
But yeah, we have to believe. It helps us to move on. You know, don't stop and just to do what we do, and to talk to, like, I think that like today we also have a good even through this like hard topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think that we are doing a good things. We can bring something for people. I can share with people, or we can share with people. Maybe someone can get something for, you know, just, we never know.
No, we don't.
So that's yeah.
When you said you have to move on, like,
Mm-hmm.
how did you do that? Like,
again, yesterday, like and during my meeting, one person asked me about my if I. He's like, did you write like some kind of essay about your experience?
essay?
Essay, yeah, like an article or something.
Yeah.
Like I said, no, not yet. Not yet. But yeah, I don't. To be honest, I even don't know if I should do that, because my story, it's not unique, and I got it, like, to be honest, at the beginning of the war. I also I've been criticized by some of their colleagues, because and they just told me that, okay, so you are lucky because you are abroad, you know, you are safe.
You mean your colleagues in
Yeah, in Ukraine, who
Yes.
stayed in Ukraine,
Sure.
who've been in Ukraine, to Ukraine at that moment. And I said, yeah, from one hand, I'm lucky because I'm safe, and my, like, you know, 4 young people safe. But from the other hand, so you don't know, and you also cannot understand me and my situation, because to be not with your family at that moment, and February 24th, like, the first of my reaction was like, I checked everything, like, you know, every like possible, I don't know, way, or just transport, train, bus, I don't know, car, everything, like what I could take it, and just to go back, back home. But then, thanks to people who accepted us, they've been very careful, like, you know, just to talk to us very careful. They told us, like, maybe you shouldn't go back because it's dangerous to go back.
People in Romania.
Yeah, in Romania, yeah, from that organization, and I'm so much also grateful to them, because we've been, like, you know, as a family. They supported us, they protected us, and tried to give us everything what they had. even like later, like, you know. But what I wanted to say that this is like, it was something new, like it was new for me to stay like outside home. You're not home. You cannot support your family, your, you know, your friends, or just you cannot be there.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's very hard emotionally. It's very hard not to be with your family. And you know, this like war stopped to be as a word for me or term. So yes, I have another experience, but in my experience, like everyone who in Ukraine, who've been into Ukraine at that moment or outside for some reasons, yeah. So we are all of us. We are no, I mean survivors, victims, because we've been affected by this war in different ways, but each of us, we have our own experience and our own trauma. And I am still don't remember some of things from the first part of like February, like 2 weeks at the beginning of the war. I don't remember. I talked to people, to my friends, and when I asked them, okay, so I don't remember our conversation. I remember that we talked, but I don't remember like a contact, like at all. So this is what I just, you know, what I said, like, yeah, I have my own experience, but it's not unique. It's not something unique. Of course, the people who, you know, also my relatives and my family, one part of my family who live in Kiev, they've been like, they know how to be bombed, attacked, you know, just to be under occupation. And this is another experience. That's another experience, and that's horrible. And I don't even like, I don't want to, and I don't have a right to compare my experience with this experience. And I don't want to do that. Yeah, but
I don't think it's wrong to share your experience either.
Yeah, it's probably not wrong. It's not wrong. And I just, you know, my experience, at least I hope this, my experience can help to, or just not help, but gives more understanding of people, what they from Ukraine, what they about like their feelings, you know, just to share with others, and just even to have a chance to talk about Ukraine, you know, about Ukraine, about Ukrainians, about our culture, about our history, to share with here with people about that. This is probably, that's what I can do, and what I meant, like, move on. You have to, we have to. I told to myself, just, and I gave I said, yeah, like, I remember that, like, I must, like, I need. I didn't push myself. It was just like, you know, yeah, it's very easy way to just to sit and cry, or you can take another way. You can stand up and move on.
And you chose the other.
Yeah. And I remember that. Yeah, my experience, my understanding. Yeah, it's not a unique, but I can bring my experience to my research, and to my work, and to my my profession. My professional life.
So when you say you can bring your experience to your professional life, right? How have you done that?
So I teach a course about Ukraine.
Okay.
Here in TBC, like history and historical narratives. Like now, I'm like current in this semester, but also last summer I taught a course about memory politics in Ukraine, and this semester also I'll be teaching a course about politics of memory in Ukraine. So, and like it's something. That's a good like okay, that's a good kind of like a professional place where I can share with my students, with the students, not with the students, like about talk with them about Ukraine, about history, about memory, and how we can remember, and how we cannot remember, and why we remember, and why we are not remember, why we decide, like why we don't remember about something, and who can be involved in this process of remembering and memorializing, and who make a choice.
And so how do you answer some of those questions? Like you said, how do you remember and how do you not remember?
So that's what I just try to share with the students to again I didn't give them answers. Okay. I just can give them like a space to think and tools, to think about that. So like one of the tasks, like it's a practical part of the course. They have a feet walk. Is it right?
Feedback?
No, feet walk, like a walk.
Feet walk.
Yeah, it means like they explored a space, memorial, like symbolic space. We call it like a symbolic space here in Vancouver. So I gave them like 7 spots.
Okay.
And 7 symbolic spots, and they just had this task, and they analyzed, explored, investigated this spots. It means like they had to learn about kind of like historical background, historical narrative, but also about who been involved to the creation of this space.
Okay.
Like government or non-profit organizations or community. And it's also about the arts, and something like that. So that was through this way, I just wanted to show them how we can understand, to feel this, and just to remember, or like about one like events, historical events, and why we don't remember, or like about the others, or just try to avoid, or or skip it. It's also about kind of about the actors, political actors, and not only political actors, but about the actors of politics of memory. about the institutions, about the government, about as I said, like non-profit organizations, something like that.
And do you mean like depending on the actor, they might want to forget or want to remember something?
No. I mean, it's like so, for example, based on Ukraine and modern Ukraine history. So that's I try to explain them, to show them why, for example, during the Soviet time in Ukraine, not only in Ukraine but in Ukraine as well. So Soviet regime, they tried to they did everything for forgetting about the for example, Holocaust or Holodomor, like Great Famine.
Say that again.
Great Famine.
Right.
Famine. Yeah.
Famine.
Famine. Great Famine.
Yes.
In 1932, 1933. So they just tried to avoid it. Not avoid it. They did everything. It was a part of official Soviet regime just to destroy this this memory. Yeah. And just to build like one people, people, and in Soviet time, and they on the monuments, they even just the language, and terms of what the regime and state used. So, for example, like this monument established to the Soviet citizens, Soviet victims. Means like they didn't divide the victims by the ethnic group or by the religion groups or like political groups. No, Soviet citizens. Yeah, and so this is a part. It like means that Soviet USSR, they as a state.
Yeah.
State decided, regime, people, state decided, like state as a institute had this power to use history, and unfortunately history as a instrument, like it's all can be used for manipulation and creation, like historical myth about different historical figures, for example, or periods, or events.
Okay.
Yeah. And decided what the society have to remember or just forget. And memorial spaces or symbolic spaces can show us this role, state, like non-profit community, and and also like different, can show us different models of remembering. Like as I said, inclusive means it's not my theory, but inclusive means like state includes country, includes memory about the different ethnic, but not only ethnic, but about the different groups of victims.
Sure.
And exclusive means like we would remember only about one. We have to remember only one.
I see.
And so this is what I just tried to bring
light to.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because as even in that example that you just gave, I can see that being a good and a bad thing. I can see it being good in the respect of like saying, even though it happened to these people, we were all Russian or all American, or if that makes sense, like saying saying these are our people and they were hurt or whatever, right? But I also see it to what you're saying, that it's good to remember the individual characteristics of the people, to remember the groups of people, to remember each story. So I can see both being good, and I can also see how it can be used negatively, right? Like you're saying, like we only want to remember this one people and forget the rest, right? And that's I can definitely see that.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's I think, just I remember the word of my mentor, who's fighting now, who's in the front line. He's very smart. He's a famous, and Maxim Hon. Maxim.
Maxim.
Yeah,
Hon?
Maxim Hon.
Maxim Hon.
Yes. He's a doctor of political science. He's a professor. He's a professor.
Professor.
He's a professor. Yeah.
You are too, but
he's definitely he's a professor. He's a professor, and he's also a good researcher. Wonderful, not good. I mean, he's a wonderful, researcher. And I remember he's my teacher. And I remember, and also a director of our nonprofit organization. Okay. And I remember when I was a student, he told me, I don't remember like a topic of our discussion, but he said, like, if you can change mind of one person, you can change a mind, like you can change like a whole generation. And yeah, it's something what if you can't, if your knowledge, like, or research, doesn't matter, but can at least like a little bit, just to can change or have this influence, it means that we could change the next generation. And yeah, so I remember his words, and I so much, I sincerely grateful him for yeah, so
and
he taught me a lot.
And as you were saying that, I was realizing that having the ability to change, right, the future generations, right, that can be used for good or bad. Like to influence, like if you have the power to change the mind of one person, that could be you could do that for the good of the people, or against the people.
Yes, but I hope that I my work, it's a good a good way.
Yeah, no, I absolutely think you do, but just in the overall,
absolutely,
like
absolutely right.
Institutions,
I agree. Instance, I agree with you, totally agree.
But I think your endeavor is good.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Appreciate it, and to have this opportunity, because like a lot of Ukrainians don't have this opportunity. I got this opportunity for some reasons, I don't know, and I appreciated that. I'm grateful for this. And yeah, I think that if I can do that, if I have this chance, if I have this platform to talk to share, I have to do that, and I would love to. Yeah, I like, do this. Yeah, something. Yeah.
Well, I know I definitely appreciate it, and I'm sure there's many people out there who also do. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, you can also to go to the to check our website, our non-profit organization, Mnemonics website, Mnemonics. Yeah. Mnemonics.
For new can bring that up.
Yeah, you could see the like, for example, virtual museum, Mnemonics. Yeah. Mnemonics. Yes, and go to the projects. Yeah, and you can see like different, like fields and like not memory pass online. No. Online courses, memory pass, schools, events, very virtual museum, and media projects. I wanna share media goes to well, couldn't see that. Sorry. Interesting. Why not? Yeah, this is a short movies about and also like lectures of our guest speakers who participated to our projects and been a part of summer schools for Ukrainians, for citizens. Yeah, but like the one of the last our project, if you go back. Projects. Virtual museum. Yeah.
So that it's strange it appeared there.
Yeah. So you see it here. So you have our history, Hovanki. It's called like hide and seek.
Hovanki,
and Hovanki, yeah, it's Ukrainian version, like Hovanki. But also you can see the like the history. It's like this museum presents like multicultural history of our city before the war, Second World War.
Okay.
So historical background. We took a couple of historical buildings and just describe, reconstruct the history of one street. And but also AR history. If you have Instagram app, you can just it goes to like first part, for example. Yeah, you could see like a QR code. You can use your phone and just to see like a short story of 3 children.
Okay.
And who Ukrainian girl, Jewish and Polish boys, and who just like friends who met after the school, and they.
Can we see?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's available only in Ukrainian. You should put your phone on. It's like on the floor. Yeah.
Aim where?
Yeah, that's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's what we did.
So, yeah, I wish we could show this on the camera. But
okay.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's available only in Ukrainian.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's very cool. The for the folks listening, what it was when you took the picture, this app started, and it was kind of like a virtual kind of reality experience.
Yeah.
When there was figures of students or young people talking, and then that conversation, when I moved the camera around, you saw the background, but you saw the students there. So it's like they're there talking in this environment now, but also combined with. That was very interesting. Wow, that's very cool. So you helped create that.
We created, that's a result of our project, one of the results of our project, one part of our project. And
How did you come up with that idea?
We wanted to do something. So our organization works with like young people, and not only with the young people, also with the teachers. And we are thinking about like a new instrument, like tools, like what we can bring to teachers, like to the schools, to how the instruments for teachers, lectures, how to teach about the multicultural history.
I see.
And they, to be honest, they were very curious, and they ask us all the time, like so how they can talk with their students about the Second World War, Holocaust, and movies, and this era, like AR, like history. So we thought, okay, so virtual museum, that's fine, that's good.
Yeah.
But we are living like with like a new life. We have new life, apps, and everything virtual world. And and we thought, like, why not? Just try to do that with AR. And it was this is one of the street in our city in Rivne, which presents like multicultural history and still saved, I don't know, like the historical buildings. And so the street has this history, multicultural history, and presents, a multicultural history. So that was the part, And so and then after the project, we just we presented this museum in the schools in Rivne. So we saw how we followed all the reactions, students' reactions, school students' reactions, and it was really interesting. They, oh my goodness, that's cool.
That is very cool. Yes.
And at that moment, you understand that you can realize that, okay, so you're doing something, what can help. So that's something like that. What we did.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to talk about other things too, or
other things?
Like
things? I don't remember.
Yeah,
so, like a lot of things.
We can talk a little bit if you want. I think you kind of maybe I haven't hit on this yet. Like, what's the morale and the sentiment
now in okay,
and specifically where you were?
Last November I came back to Rivne for a while, and so I know that I knew that I was going to going back to the reality, to the war. So our region is still, like, it's safe. It's much more safe region, safety region, and it's safety there, and safe region than Eastern Ukraine, obviously, or Central Ukraine. It's like, it's not comparable. So when I returned, like, air, silence, I wasn't surprised. And people also. They just, like, air sirens, it's a part of their life. it's a part of our life. And people should just try to move on, to live, to keep their lives and just to do what they did before the war. At least try to do that, to work, to go to the war, to just to try to have some fun. I mean, like to go to the cafe or just to spend time with their friends and family. However, I would say that another side of this but this life, this reality, it was like every day or 2 or 3 times per day. It doesn't, like, depends. But I saw a vehicle, like a car with it's a car with a body of soldiers who were killed in the front. And
like they bring them
they bring them to their families and homes. This is a humanitarian project, and volunteers, they are doing this. Again, not job, but so yeah. And is this project calls, like, on the shield?
On the what?
On the shield.
On the shield.
On the shield. Yes. And car has like this title, on the shield, or cars. And so I saw, like, it's something that you understand, that not understand, you just go back to the reality. You're going back to the reality, and you just feel this reality, and you're seeing you can see this reality, because like 2 or 3 times per day, when you see this car, when I saw this car, I understood, I realized, okay, so this is, young, or like this soldiers, and they also, they sons, or like fathers, or your brothers, of some families. And like, everything, like, at that moment, everything stopped, like, car stops, and like everything, and people just they cried, and you understand that this is a war. It's not something, like, it's not somewhere, it's here, it's your, like, the war came to your home. And of course, like, a moral situation and emotional situation of people, they try to stay strong, to be strong. But when you see every day, and when you hear every day, or like day after day, so it's bring you back to the reality. And also kind of, like, economical situation, not really good, I would say that, because like the prices, and the prices for food and for everything is very higher, increased. they've been increased, and it's also hard for people. It's difficult to live with like this kind of prices,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like the life expensive. You don't know how to survive. So yeah, and I wouldn't say that like from one, again, like from one side, like one hand, they try to keep their lives in a good way, just to like to celebrate something, even they don't have this mood or energy to celebrate. From other hand, just to they try to survive and to live with this reality and with this war, because it's a part of our war, and to do what they did before their job, and yeah. So it's, yeah, as I said, like it's almost like 2 years, and yeah, and you never know, especially like you never know, because like if you have a brother, if you have like a husband or father, you don't know what's gonna happen now or tomorrow. And this is of course yeah, bring you back. But Ukrainians and Ukraine believes that the victory will be yeah, it will be ours, our victory, Ukrainians victory. And we can win, At least I believe that in this way. We should. We don't have a choice. We must do that. Yeah. And yeah, you don't have a choice. We have. When I ask like my friend, like, okay, so what about your, just feelings? And she said to me, I don't have a choice. I have family. I have kids. I need to move on, to live my life. Every day means not to think about tomorrow, because you don't know about your future, but you have like now you have today. You have this day. You have to live this. And help as much as possible to the army and to the soldiers, volunteers. They are doing so amazing. They help a lot. They really help a lot, and that's also very important, to help to bring some lights.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's it was my experience when I returned to Riga. And also I visited Kyiv as well. And yeah, you have like timeline, so it means like before 12 a.m. you have to be home. Yeah, so because and yeah, so that's you have some kind of restrictions, you have conditions, and or rules, because it's a war, so you have to be careful. And so I visited Kyiv. Yeah, just people, they try to live their lives and help others, the rest of people, also like soldiers and for people who came from East Ukraine and from the occupied territories, Russian occupied territories. And that's if they can help to do that, food, like clothes, I don't know, just everything, yeah, they try to do everything to make candles.
To make what?
Candles.
Candles?
Yeah, for soldiers.
For soldiers.
Yeah.
How do the candles help the soldiers?
It's kind of like like a light, just in the front line.
So they can see.
Yes. And so that's what I found, what I saw, what I realized. And but it's a war anyway. It's a war. And every day, something remind you that it's a war. So that's why I said, like, okay, yeah, I have this opportunity. I got it. But many people of Ukraine, like, they don't have this opportunity.
When you left, so when you visited, and then you came back home, or not home, but when you came back to Vancouver,
yes,
how was that? How did you feel? Like, I would imagine a big part of you is still there.
Yeah, because my family there, my mom, my mother there, and my brother there, like, my environment, my life there. I mean, it's also it was hard to came like last year, like 2022. I mean, it was difficult, not hard, but it was difficult because I came by my own, and it just like, I didn't know anyone here, and except my mentors, just. And so when you're alone, emotionally and mentally, of course, it's also very hard because you are so far from your home.
Sure.
It's not Europe, and in Europe, like from Germany and from Poland, I could take a bus and just go to Ukraine. Here you you have like it's far. It's far. It's far.
Yes.
It's far. And when you don't have anyone here, like I didn't have anyone here.
And you live alone?
Yes.
Yes.
And I live alone, and I'm so emotionally, and also like another country, culture, like everything new.
Yes, very different.
Very different, and that's I could try to understand like rules and like different things.
Yes.
And many details you have to know. So many details. And it's not bad. It's just different.
Yes.
And again, like now I can understand. Like now I know a little bit. Not for 100%, but a little bit I know. Yeah. So, but that's also was like for me, I met wonderful people, and people who invited me. They also so wonderful. They supported me, and they still supporting me. They helped me, and as much as they can, and just they understood that like where I've been, what happened.
Yes.
And understanding these things, that's very important because like they try to, and they are part of my life now, and like my environment now, and they've been there at the beginning. So for this, but anyway, it was hard because you're alone and your family not with you. And so, and you never know. I'm still checking all the, like every day I'm checking news, and and I call to my mother, and I communicate with my friends, and so that's and last year when I returned from came back to Vancouver from Ukraine, it was kind of not easiest, but like, just you and I found that I have here I could find my my people,
Your people here.
Yeah.
You mean like your people? I'm trying to articulate it.
Yeah,
as
just like my people, my friends, my
make your new life here.
I make my life here, and I made it like I did it. And like again, I met wonderful people as you, for example.
Well, thank you.
So
I say the same to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. That's very kind of you. And yeah, so and like this time I knew that okay, I have people who are waiting for me. I have people. I'm not alone anymore. And this is very important to have someone.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that I cannot be alone. I can, but if you have your friends, that's
makes a huge difference to have people in your life that you can call.
Yeah. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, how are you been?
Let's do something.
Yeah, let's go.
But I know the feeling, a different feeling than you, because your circumstances very different, right? But when you move somewhere new and you're alone, it's very isolating. Like at first, right? You have to put yourself out there, and then when you go home and it's just you,
it's still you, just only you.
Yeah, it's very that can be very tough, right? Like you learned, but it can be very tough.
I learned.
And luckily for me, I have Mika, right?
Aww.
Yes, this is a huge, like, we spend all day together. So
yeah, actually that's good to have some pets. And
do you have any pets?
Here, no.
No.
In Ukraine also no. But in my childhood, I had.
Are you a cat or dog person?
I would say like now I'm a dog person. But in my childhood, I had it like 2 cats.
Okay.
And it's because also I was grown up with my grandma, and I spent a lot of time in the village, in their countryside. So area. Cats, dogs, not even like a lot of animals around you, but now I'm a dog person.
Dog person.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank
I approve this.
Okay, good. Thank you.
When you came back, do you ever feel like the problems that people have here, like people who make a big deal about small problems, does this ever like bother you or
here?
Yeah, like when you're going through something as difficult in Ukraine, right? And then you come here, and then people are like they get
understand
maybe they miss the bus, and the whole day is met like or for you does it's no big deal?
No, it's like no. I don't wanna judge someone their life.
Yes.
I don't have this right, and I just everyone has their life, and it's kind of like it's okay. It's just another country. Yeah. They have their own life and their experience, and that just and they like and people have just their own problems, their problems, difficulties and everything. So that's we are different. We are not this like we are people. We are people, but we are like different. I came from Ukraine. I have my own big background, and someone came, like, from the US, or I don't know, just it's that's fine. No, that's fine, and it doesn't mean that they have to take my problems of my country, or just no. It's I would be so like, we are grateful to everyone who support us and try to understand us, Ukrainians and Ukraine. Yeah, and they just it's like we have to have this patience and just try, and kindness, and help and understand. If you it's sometimes even like if you say to someone like, just everything will be fine, don't worry about that, and it can be enough to hear these words, or just to come, to support people, to bring something. It doesn't matter. It's like it's nothing. Yeah. But for someone, it can be a huge help. And it's like something. And so that's as I said, like, I don't have this right to judge someone.
Good for you.
Other people, it's like,
I'm serious.
Right.
I'm serious. This is a good quality to have.
Yeah, every we have like this responsibility. So I'm responsible for my life and life of my family, my just. But yeah, I cannot say or push or force someone to help me, or just to no. It depends on the person. So that's what I can.
Do you I would imagine that you try to help your family back home all the time.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
Money or or
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, my brothers. So I have like for my cousins, they're fighting. They've been drafted to the army.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so that's that's a reality. Yeah, and yeah, of course, if I can help them, I will do that. And I help them as much as I can.
You do help them.
Yeah, I do. And I remember when I returned to, like, this last time, like not last. When I've been to Ukraine, and I asked my cousin what I can just to what I can bring or give him, and he said, like, I have everything. Like, I don't need anything. If you wanna help me, just send money. Donate money to volunteers. Give money, like, to the if you have money, if you can, if you have this possibility, send it money to volunteers. And yeah, medicine volunteer. That's life. It's the people's life. So that if he told me that, he just suggested, like, if you want to help me, just I have everything. I don't need like money, or just if you want to help me, just send it money.
Very strong people.
Yeah.
Very strong.
They have like yeah, as I said, like, we don't have another choice. We must do that. At least I can, like, I should I can say that about my, about me, about my experience, and about like people who I cannot say like for everyone in Ukraine,
Oh, I understand.
Just like, but yeah.
Everyone is unique.
Yeah, it's unique. Yeah. So that's what I And yes, and you know, some like a lot like people. My mom, for example, my family. It's because very expensive now in Ukraine to live, and food and everything is so expensive. So I try to help her and to like first of all to be with her and to spend my time with her as much as possible as I can as I could, and and support her in different ways, just financial or emotional, that's what we can do. I mean, what we do, and yeah, and it doesn't matter how old are you. You're you're still like she told me like you're my kid, and it doesn't matter how old are you.
My mother says the same thing.
You're my kid. You're my children. You're my child. So that's a very strong word. I understand that for her that's to be physically there at home with her. For her, that's important. And for me it also was very, and it's important to have her in my life.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm glad she is part of your life.
Thank you a lot.
Well, thank you. Is there anything else that you want to dive into, or?
I just want to say that thank you so much for your time, for your for having me. And thank you that you found this topic can be interesting for you. And I hope that people who will be listening to this podcast, our conversation, somehow can help other people. And just if I could share with you and my experience or my my story helps to someone or can help to someone, that's thank you.
Well, and I do thank you, and I know me personally, I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you.
I know others will out there too. So
thanks.
Thank you, Nataliia.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry,
Farnud.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I really have a bad memory with the yeah. Far.
Think of far and then nude.
Far.
Yeah.
Farnud.
Forever nude.
And Mika, of course. And Mika.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. See you.